Hello everyone, this is Vi. We're checking out Rogue Planet. This is a game I've not played before. We're going to give it a playtest and see if we can give some useful feedback. I've got the game page open here. It says Rogue Planet, left click to move and unveil roaming parties and cities. 1, 2, and 3 keys for control time speed. Spacebar to pause, Alt and F4 to quit. Sorry, there's nothing else to do after combat, so just exit directly. Let me know any bugs you encounter. Early detection of anomalies is important for QA. I apologize for the lack of Linux version. Looks like the next build is scheduled for November 5th at the latest. So currently I'm playing the, I believe it's September 18th build of the game here. I've not played the game before, so this is all brand new to me. And as you can see, the game has kind of been running in the background here for a little bit. It just kind of starts this way, so I've not seen anything past what we're seeing here. Which means I might have to like restart it or whatever, but maybe I'll just fiddle around in here briefly before then. Don't know what I'm looking at. Presumably some kind of a strategy game. It looks like some kind of a food icon. Maybe that's gas. I don't know what the pills are. I don't know. Repair resources here. We've got 2 rifles. Excuse me. And we've got some money, it looks like. These might be human resources of some kind. Looks like an injured person and someone who is incarcerated. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but yeah, I guess this green thing kind of sometimes draws on top of this, sometimes doesn't. I don't know. I guess I can click, and these red guys who have kind of accumulated around this military vehicle are wandering about. Okay, it looks like the whole game just froze, I guess. Unless it's up here there's some text. This is welcome scavenger and then tactical pause on. Okay, so obviously this is very hard to read, so that doesn't help, but when I see tactical pause on, that makes me think that the game is like automatically pausing in order to allow me to like give commands for like a combat situation, something like that. I think like the original Fallout games worked like that. I'm assuming that's what's going on. It's not actually just frozen, but I don't really know how to play the game yet, so it's not necessarily that helpful. It does say something is working over here. I don't know what that means. So I'm clicking around. I don't know. I can move the camera, at least zoom in and out. Oh. A game about fighting to death for a can of mackerel. Okay, text over here. I don't know what these blobs are. Well, I guess that's a cylinder. Now, can I use... Okay, the space bar is to stop and start time. As I remember, then 1, 2, and 3 were to change. I don't think it mentioned much else besides... Let's peek the page again real quick here. Yeah, it just says left click, 1, 2, and 3, and space bar. Left click to move and unveil roaming parties and cities. So I don't know why the tactical pause went on here. I don't believe I did anything to trigger that myself. I can see that the spacebar does do that, but I believe I was just clicking around. So one thing that occurs to me, there's not really any feedback when I click. So, I mean, obviously when the time is progressing, it's like we're on day 3 here. When the time is progressing, I can see my vehicle react to my clicking, obviously, but if it is paused, it just apparently just paused itself again here. But if it's paused, I can't see any feedback for when I click on something, so I'm not really getting that sense of like that the game is registering what I want it to do, that kind of thing. Until I like unpause it, and then I can see the thing happening again. But yeah, I don't know if these red guys are like friendly or if they're unfriendly. Again, it paused for whatever reason. Can I just drive into this structure? It says something is working. Yeah, I don't know what these guys are for. Looks like I can just hold the mouse button down, which is kind of nice. So they are following me. I mean, the red does kind of suggest bad guys in some sense, but I don't know. I don't think any of these numbers up here have changed. And yeah, I don't know what else to do. It did say, you know, in the game page, like roam around and discover more. Oh, okay. So this whole thing just appeared here. And we got the tactical pause again for whatever reason. Something is working. All right, these guys are following me over here. Oh, AI party visits a settlement. All right, probably be nice if this was more than debug text, obviously. But I can maybe like review it later in case, you know, it could be easy to miss that if it just disappeared like that, but that's obvious enough. I guess I just drive around until something else like that appears. Oh, those guys are, I guess they're out of draw distance here. Interesting. Nope, we've got the edge of the world, it looks like. Yep. Okay, yeah, so if I try to click over here, it kind of, there seems to be some kind of a bug. I mean, obviously I can't move out here, but it, for whatever reason, decides to go back in this direction. I don't know if you'd want it to just kind of like project a point out here and have him move to that point until he couldn't drive any further or something like that. Or else just not move at all. I would probably aim for the former. I can't actually tell if I'm moving or not, so I'm going to keep the mouse held down here. So I believe this is the thing I had already found before, right? We got the tactical pause activating itself. We're on day 6. Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, this stuff just appears when we drive near it. Whoa. Okay. I was starting to get the sense that I wasn't going to see anything more from the game, but interesting. So I'm not sure what I did to trigger this or what happened to trigger this. That would be something you might want to make clear. Obviously, this is a very early state the game is in, so there's a lot of stuff like transitions and stuff that can be hard to have in the game this early. But for an end user like myself, a player, it's important to have these kind of transitions where you really make it clear like what's about to happen before you like throw the player into another screen, right? So in that case, I don't know if it's because I went like I managed to go close to the building or something and there's something in the structure, I don't know, but you know, you could make some kind of an animation or whatever that could demonstrate that, okay, something is about to happen, and then you kind of unfold your little animation, and then you have the once it's made clear, then you could transition over here, and then the player can be like, oh, okay. It allows them to link, you know, what they were just looking at to what they're looking at now in a logical fashion. So now it looks like I can do some kind of actual combat. I got some kind of a super soldier here. I guess I just popped out of this armored vehicle. Since this has a gun on top, it seems like it'd be safer inside the truck here, but I guess this is my movement range. I see little shields popping up when I mouse around here, so maybe these are like structures that can take a defensive posture nearby. It also looks to be the case near the vehicle here, although in this case the little shield icons are kind of clipping into this side, the wheels over here, so I can't really see those properly, but interesting. So I've got move, rifle shot, shoot for 30 to 40 points of damage at an enemy, accuracy decreases with distance, launch bomb, 50 damage to all units within 1 tile of target. Fire at the first visible enemy that moves within range. Okay. So this... Interesting. So if I select this, does that mean my guy just stands rooted and then he waits? I believe that would be what we're looking at now. There's not a sense of like action points or anything. I guess I just choose any one of these. And I can only choose one, I suppose. I don't know, like if I click on this. Okay, so I can shoot at this guy. I have a 73% chance to hit, which is higher than I expected because I feel like I'm kind of far away. Those are still pretty decent odds. So I'm curious, like if I just want to move like a couple tiles and then shoot, like a lot of these sort of tactical games, of course, have like the AP resource, what I just mentioned, which generally works within that idea. Like if I just want to move a little bit and then take another action, maybe I can do that, or I can choose to like move a lot and then I won't have enough points left for the other action, that kind of thing. So without that, if I want to have, you know, that option to just move a little and then take another action, I might not be able to do that, you know. So I don't know. Also, like if I move, say I want to move here, then I guess I get some kind of defensive effect. I don't know how that works. Yeah, I don't. I just have to find out. I guess I don't know. Like, what? How is this guy gonna move? Is he gonna? Can he only move? Oh no, he can move and shoot. Okay, so he moved and then shot. This has a 2. It's a little hard to see the little text here, the yellow on white, whatever. But I mean, I'm I'm nitpicking. It's not even necessary to point out. But yeah, I don't really get a sense of like anything indicating being able to do more than one action or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll just try moving a little bit. Looks like I can do something else. So maybe there is AP points. It's just not on screen anywhere for some reason. So he managed to miss somehow. 53. Okay, so I'm assuming the cover. The cover may be the fact that he's kind of on the ground, crouching. I don't know if the stance has something to do with it. So here, this would be, I think, a good example of why it might be helpful to have some information about like what is affecting your hit chances here exactly. So, someone who knows all of the ins and outs of the game might, well, never mind that. But so obviously there's some things that are affecting the hit chance, and I don't know what they are, and I can only guess and assume. So if you could find somewhere on the screen to just like put what is affecting that, then that would be helpful to the player. And will help a lot for new players in particular to kind of work out what actually affects things, because they can just kind of play the game and they can see, oh, well, it says right on the screen that guy's getting a bonus from maybe he's crouching near this, or maybe his stance, or maybe the fact that he's aware of me, whatever. Maybe something he's wearing is affecting my hit chance or his own stats. That might be, something that would be worthwhile in that sense, where the particularly the new player can just see all this stuff and say, oh, well, those are things that I can take advantage of as well, and I can do those things, and etc. But let's go ahead and I guess we shoot at this guy. I don't know if I should experiment more. Moves within range. So what is within range? That's also a question I have. I don't know what that means. If I click on the shoot thing, it doesn't give a range, right? Like there's no visually indicated range for shooting. It just decreases with distance, right? Here, obviously, it shows a range, which happens to be square because of reasons. Hey, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, it just mathematically works out that way because of the fact that we can move diagonally. um, which is also, I don't off the top of my head know like all the implications of this, but I know that there's implications. The fact that this is square means that spatially this can be a little funky because obviously this is a further distance in like true spatial distance, but in terms of the amount of moves I'm making in the game, it's all the same distance. So okay, so here's a question I have based on what I've just said. Like obviously this distance is shorter than this distance in terms of like true distance. Does the rifle shot calculate distance based on the true distance or based on like the moving distance? I think this is called taxi cab. Or it's a combination of cardinals and diagonals. I don't remember, but that would be a question I would be interested in, because if this is like different, then that can have really weird implications. But if it's the same, you get the benefit of a lot of consistency across the board, which is really good. But it can also be a little bit confusing in terms of like people tend to want to interpret it based on what they see and what they expect from like the real world, right? So it might be a little confusing in certain cases if the player's just eyeballing it, but it'll be like internally consistent that way. So pros and cons, but I would go with, you know, keeping things consistent, because you get weird stuff if you have to like separate the two. Like you can move in a certain way that can like maximize other things, and it just makes weird things happen in terms of how the game optimizes. But I'm rambling here, so let's just go ahead and try to shoot this guy. It's at 53. It's not very good because he is, again, in some kind of a defensive posture. I don't know what his chances to shoot me are. It might also be nice to consider showing something like that somewhere on the screen, like how vulnerable I am. I don't know if that's the thing. I guess that would be, it must be a combination of factors, like some factors associated with whoever's shooting at me, along with factors associated with my current um, status or whatever and positioning. So I'm not sure about that, but maybe not. I don't know. I guess I'll just try this, and then I think I can shoot. Oh, now it's a 99. Okay. Apparently I'm unlucky, unless that did hit him. Maybe it just did less damage than I thought it would. I didn't see how much damage that dealt, which might be nice if you. Some games do this thing with the. I mean, you could do like damage numbers. That helps a lot. That'll probably be the best thing for a tactical game. I was thinking, you know, some games do a thing where it instead of updating the health bar instantly, it kind of creates, like, in this case it'd be like a yellow color of like how much it goes down, and the red would be like the absolute value, and the yellow would kind of indicate where it was, and then when it's going down to, that kind of thing. But yeah, probably just go with damage numbers if I was thinking about this. But I guess we're just gonna try this again. Definitely hit. Oh, interesting. Oh, so was that purely for the benefit of watching yourself die? I don't know. I don't play tons of tactical games and stuff, so I don't know if this is something that's been done before, but I haven't seen this kind of top-down tactical game, like playing with camera angles like that before. So that's kind of cool, but yeah, I wonder if it's purely just for the dramatic end of life scenario thing, or what it is. So I don't know. Do I go towards? I think the text is just floating above head here. I don't know what caused the combat to happen before. I don't know. I was just kind of just driving around, and then all of a sudden it just chucked me into the other screen there. So I don't really know what it was. I think it was around here, but maybe the game wants me to like discover all these things first, and then it throws me into the next screen. I don't really know. Um, oh well, okay. Here we go. I accidentally moved because I was holding down the mouse button before it transitioned here. But let's go. I'll try this. Interesting. He moved quite a distance and then shot at me. Okay. Am I supposed to just get 2 actions? Is that the idea? Okay. I don't really get this. Because like obviously I'm just experimenting here, but when I moved, like when I was here, I could see that the movement range was like to here, and then when I moved one up, it's to here. So it's like between the 2 turns, I still have the same movement range being indicated. It's not. It didn't like subtract 1 because I took 1 step or something. So I don't know what that means exactly. If Because I believe the first time I tried this, I just kind of ran to the max distance, and it kind of forced me to move on, right? No, it didn't. This time it didn't. Maybe I got it wrong. I could have swore the very first time I decided to move or something, it was like um I clicked to run somewhere and then it just ended my turn. But now it seems like I always have 2 actions. I don't know what. Maybe there was a bug there, or it's possible I just completely remembered wrong or just didn't understand something. Very possible. But okay, so I guess I just always have 2 actions, and I can move anywhere within my movement range for 1 action. So I can just kind of do this if I want to. Oh, wait. So that was another thing. If if I have 2 actions, it would be nice to have that indicated on screen somewhere, just like how many I have left. Obviously, I got distracted there. I guess I used one, and then like I was talking for so long, I forgot that I had only 1 left. So it could be nice to indicate that. Yeah, and I don't know. Is this guy like? Does he have the same kind of capabilities that I do? Did that even hit him? Like, see, that took like a big chunk from me. I know there's a range of damage here, but hmm. What if I just... Okay, I don't think you can shoot twice in 1 turn, right? So it's possible that's what I did in the first place, which made me confused because it's not obviously there's nothing to indicate to me that deciding to use this particular action will end my turn, right? Um, like there's nothing inherently wrong with that. Like just as a rule, if that benefits the game, you know, shooting ends your turn. But I need to like obviously I need to know what that rule is as the player. But I am curious also like um, what exactly the thought process is there. Like if it's better that way than if you could, for instance, shoot and then move afterwards or something. Obviously, shooting twice in 1 turn is that's probably what was what was trying to be avoided, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, just fumbling about isn't going to kill this guy very effectively because he seems relatively on par with me. So that seems to suggest that I need to take more defensive position to try to squeeze out an advantage rather than just tanking and whatever, trying to get lucky or something. I guess I got lucky enough to kill him. Player faction wins. Um, do I get my stuff back? It looks like I went back to day 0, I think. I think it just restarted the game. I think. So maybe I'll just try one more time in the combat thing. I don't know what's triggering the tactical pause here. Looks like there's a lot of area down here. It does feel pretty slow. I mean, obviously this is a scaled thing. But the fact that like nothing is happening while I'm doing this, I guess just in terms of the time frame of oh, okay, because I was just holding the mouse and the mouse hovered off the end here, so it starts doing this. But yeah, just the time frame where the player is not like seeing anything happen is a bit long here, so it's not that not necessarily that the thing is physically driving too slow, but you'll want to not have the player waiting around, I guess is the way to put it. So at least put things that are relevant to gameplay, you know, make things happen while they're traveling between locations or something. Give the player things to focus on, that kind of stuff. I don't know what else to do. I guess I just try to drive to the next thing and hope that it throws me into the combat again. This. There we go. Okay. So the dude's here. Why is this green up here and this blue here? Oh wait, does that mean it also this changes to yellow? Does that mean like if I move up here it uses up 2 turns instead of 1? So I don't remember this happening before. Maybe I just didn't realize that I could move outside of the blue squares. But maybe that's also what confused me in the first place. That must have been what happened. I'm gonna try like all right, I mean, sure, it makes sense, you know, just to give the player the benefit of. Oh, I can't zoom out any further. I wish I could see down further here. Oh, okay. WASD actually works in here, so that's that's the first time I've touched those buttons because it wasn't mentioned on the game page. I'm not sure what this rectangle is. I guess it's just whatever. But yeah, that helps. Might want to smooth that out a bit so the camera has a little bit of easing. That would be nice. But yeah, so I didn't realize that you can move out here and it just takes 2 turns, but yeah, it makes sense you could do that, but it obviously confused me in the first place, so there's something you'll have to try to teach the player at some point rather than just throwing them into the world without a tutorial, which is what happens when you are in early development. I guess I just shoot this guy. I mean, I'm technically in like a, I don't know. I don't know how the defensive stuff works, so like I don't want to assume that if I have a 99% hit chance on him, that he'll have a 99% hit chance on me. I mean, obviously we're right next to each other, so maybe that is the case. He also is next to a thing as much as I am, so maybe I don't know. Maybe that equalizes things. But there's some sense of like I don't know. Maybe if I move over here. I'm not really sure how to optimize this because of the fact that you can move and shoot in 1 turn. So I feel like if I try to like get into a good defensive position, I feel like if I do that, then he can just move and kind of invalidate that and then shoot at me. I don't know if I can use the Overwatch in some fashion to kind of work around that. Will he just wait? What? Okay, so okay, I think that was my dude shooting at him, which I guess is what the Overwatch thing was doing. That's interesting. I'm not sure if that was somehow more beneficial. I guess. Yeah, I guess it makes sense if I'm moving into a position where I can't shoot at him very well, then maybe it makes sense to use this instead, so that when he tries to engage in me, I shoot at him then. So that does kind of make sense. And again, it's not really explained or anything. I mean, nothing in this game is explained currently, but I'm just trying to figure this out. But what? Okay, so I was gonna say, like, in this case, I think the change of perspective was more disorienting than anything. It sort of makes sense when it's like the finishing blow, because at that point it's just being dramatic, and it doesn't matter because you as the player can't do anything to affect the outcome past that point. So it's like, whatever. But in this case, it was more disorienting than anything, I think, to just suddenly see the game unflowing from such a dramatically different perspective. Maybe if you found a way to like fly the camera in, that kind of thing, so that the player could kind of, get the sense of motion to get their bearings instead of just like a hard cut into this completely different view. Um, Maybe that would be less disorienting. But I like the idea of it anyways. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna shoot this guy because I can. No, is there point 2 moving at this point? I hide from you in Overwatch. It's also kind of weird, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess it moved. The guy moved within range or whatever, but like visually, it looked like I was just shooting straight through the wall to kill the guy. So I don't know how that works out. But it doesn't look right, obviously. But yeah, I guess I assume that's all we're gonna see of the game. So obviously, this is very early, so we can't expect everything to be polished and making sense. I don't think these numbers do anything yet. Um, and yeah, the rough transitions and everything, obviously just normal early game stuff. But oh, yeah, that's confusing to me. um, but maybe some of my ramblings gave you some idea of something you didn't think of already. That will help you for uh, as you progress with developing the game. But yeah, really interesting. I'm curious where this goes from here. Um, Seems like it could be pretty cool. So hopefully this was useful for you. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.